Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Today is a little bit of a different video. I have been asked to participate in the Crafty Christmas in July again this year. This is the 4th annual one, and again it's hosted by the lovely Teri from Sweet Pea Papers. Thank you for inviting me back, Teri. So this year we have 2 shops that have donated the 2 Christmas kit each to the collaborators, or the participants of this collaboration, excuse me. They are Stacy McDaniel from Crafty Dragon Creations and Karen Villanova, I hope I'm not butchering your last name, from Creative Paper Artisan. And there are the details for this collaboration. It runs from July 1st to July 31st. There are 30 collaborators, over 50 videos, and over 20 prizes. And there are, you can enter multiple times. You can do multiple posts each day, and each post will get you 1 entry into the drawing. There are, let's see here, there are, like I said, over 20 prizes, and the prizes include free junk journal kits and ebooks. Last year, I don't think we had ebooks. Now, last year I did a mini album. This year I'm doing something a little bit different. So, but all entries into the drawing have to be posted by July 31st. And the drawing will happen on Sunday, August 3rd. And it will be held over in the Sweet Pea Paper, on the Sweet Pea Papers YouTube channel. So, but you have to post all the entries into the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group with the hashtag Crafty Christmas in July 25. So there's the info for the drawing if you wanted just to pause and take a few notes, or, you know, like screenshot it. But both of these are going to be added to my journal, and I will show you how. But for now, I'm just going to set those right up there. And there was a steampunk Christmas kit, and then this gorgeous little mousy kit. Now, I am not using everything from the kit that I chose. Mostly it's the background pages. I've used a few of the ephemera pages, but not in the way you would think. Again, we'll get to that. But I've printed all of the background pages on sticker paper. So you have this first one. Then you have this one. And then this one. And then this one is this background, but with these cute mousies on them. Look at that, guys. It is so gorgeous. And then this beautiful candy cane striped with this gold, I don't know if it's called filigree or damask pattern on it. And then this one where it's got, you've got mushrooms going this way and then mushrooms going that way. And then I did print the fussy cuts out. Now, I printed them out using my Silhouette Studio because this is a lot of fussy cutting, guys. And to be honest, I love fussy cutting, but this was a lot. So this is to let my Silhouette machine do it. So you've got them the way they are originally with the gorgeous little mice. Now, my printer has the option of, you can go in and do what's called mirror image printing. So I printed it out regular, and then I printed it out using mirror image printing. So, and there's a reason why. I will show y'all. And then so I saved both of these and then opened them up in my Silhouette Studio and did both of them side by side. So you've got the original on this side and then the mirror image on this side. And then I printed and cut. I printed it all as one page and then cut it. So I did that with the mics. And then I also did the same thing with these little mushroom boxes. So you have the original. You have the mirror image. And then you have both of them side by side. And also she also had this tree one. So now this page looks a little banged and beat up because I ended up getting a new cutting mat for my Silhouette. If you use a Silhouette or a Cricut, you know when you first use those mats, they are extremely sticky. I forgot this. So I just plopped this page directly down onto the mat, and not advisable because I fought. When I say, guys, I fought, you can see that this page has like battle scars. I fought to get it back up off the mat. So I had to go out and get a towel and de-stickify, take some of the stickiness off the mat. But anyway, so you have the original. And then you have the mirror image. And then both of them side by side. So that is that part of the kit that I used. So I'll set that right up there. And then I also took one of the journal pages and printed it 4 to a page on sticker paper. And then the pocket page, I just went ahead and cut those out. Now I did print out in smaller size the journal card, some of the journaling cards. I did those like 2 to a page. I also printed out the page that I think it was like magnetic bookmarks, where you can turn them into like magnetic bookmarks. I printed that out in a smaller size, but they're not going to be used in that way. And when I get to those projects, I will show you. Now, oh well, I can show you this now. Like, these were 2 of the circles from it that I'm going to be using in today's video. And these are just printed out on cardstock. And then these are the pieces from the magnetic bookmarks. But I'm not going to be using them as magnetic bookmarks. This little... I used a stamp set die that I have to make these, and in a little bit I'll show you that die set. But I also created I went through my functional stickers. I have a bunch of functional sticker kits. These will be posted, well, when you watch this video, this set will already be up in my shop. So, but I went in and I pulled the colors that I thought would match this kit, and those are the ones I'm going to be using. I just cut them down into smaller, more manageable sizes. And then I also wanted some florals and foliage for my project. So if you notice in the kit, like here, there's lots of these pretty evergreens, and you've got the holly and the pine cones and the berries and stuff like that. I wanted to bring more of those elements in. So I basically just went in and designed my own kit using the clip art that I have for just, just like some more foliage and evergreens for this project. So, and I did the same thing with these like I did with the fussy cuts. I printed one normal and then one mirror image of it. And I used my silhouette for them. And I pulled in, I mean, now they're not exactly the same elements that are in these kits. I mean, I won't be able to pull in the exact elements because, you know, she's using the clip art she has to make this kit. So, but I thought these went well enough for it. And then I have all of these poinsettias. And then these. And yes, this looks like a lot. I love these pine cones. But these are going to be used. My project technically runs from the 1st to the 31st. I'll explain. But yeah, I've got mushrooms, and now I know these aren't the exact mushrooms that are in her kit. Again, those mushrooms are her designs, so I'm using the designs that I have on hand. And then these are like edge stickers. So you have the original, and then you have a mirror image in both, and they are all Kiss Cut stickers. So, and that's that. So that's, I've got a lot to play with here, which I'm not complaining. I am so looking forward to. So now, I love to do what's my project, you may be asking. So I love to do what's called creative journaling. Ooh, I'm knocking everything over. And a creative journal, it's like a journal, but you can use everything that you would use in a junk journal for it. The only difference is with a junk journal, you usually create the journal yourself. You make it from cover to pages and all that. For a creative journal, now you can do that with a creative journal too, but I won't be doing that for this project. I am actually using a dot grid, and let's see, A5 dot grid 160 GSM journal. So I got this journal from Mr. Pen. And this journal, and it runs me basically month to month. It's hard to explain. Like, this is my June. So, and basically what I use this as is like a scrapbook. I put memories in it, pictures in it, I write in it. Some people will call it like a diary, but not quite, because mine is fully decorated, and with your typical diary, it's usually just pen to paper. This is not. This is full out decorated, in your face. It has all kinds of Dutch doors. Like these are horizontal Dutch doors. And back here, this is a single vertical Dutch door. So, and like this section right here ranged from June 1st to June 6th. And then here's another one that runs from June 7th to June 12th. And then this is a spread that I haven't even created yet. And then this is a kit from my shop. So, but we are going to be doing July's, it's called a cover page. And we will have one Dutch door for this. Yeah, right here. This will be our Dutch door. And now I was going through and I was trying to think of ways, how do I want this one to be different than what I usually do? Because what I usually do is I will, so this is going to be a vertical Dutch door. So vertical means usually typically for the Dutch door, your cut would be from top to bottom. Horizontal, your cut would go from right to left. So like this is a vertical. See how the cut goes from the top to the bottom, and then you have all your decorated elements running along the side of the page. Versus a horizontal, your cut is going from side to side with your decorations running across the page instead of down. So I want it to be different, and I came up with an idea. Last year's project, I had the mini album, and what I did was, I wish I had that in front of me right now, but we just recently moved. So a lot of my stuff is still in storage and we haven't brought it over yet. Between my full-time job and my husband working full-time, we literally haven't had a chance to. So, but I used that mini album and then I put in, like, when people would take and when the creators would post their pictures or whatever into the group, I would go in and I would save those pictures and I would print them out and I would put them throughout the mini album, and I'd write just a little caption like scrapbooking about the collaboration. And for the month of July, I was like, I want to do that again because I love doing it, but I want to do it in the form of a creative journal. So for the Dutch door for this, I am going to do a waterfall, like the waterfall flips like you would see in junk journals, on both the front and the back of the Dutch door. And now I would cut, on this side I would cut it directly, let's see, did I mark my thing? Yes, I marked my page right here at the top. So I'm going to cut off just a small strip coming down here so that the waterfall, the edges of the waterfall flip can hang off just a little bit as a decorative element. So I went through and I pulled out all of the red and green papers that I currently have, and this die cut set. Now this set I got off of Amazon. A lot of my die cuts I get, a lot of my dies, metal cutting dies, I get from Amazon. A lot of them. Now I've gotten a few from Temu, don't get me wrong, and I love both. So, but this one I actually can and will put the link for down in the bottom, because it came as, I mean, you can do with this set, you can do, I think it's like 8 to 12 different types of waterfall flaps, plus a pocket and all that. So I will link this in the description box for y'all if y'all would like to pick it up. But so I've got a set for the front, and I also have a set for so it's gonna flip over for the back. So sorry guys, but first we're gonna do this side of the page. So I'm going to clear all of this out of the way now. I also took in my design program and just typed up in a calligraphy font, Crafty Christmas in July 2025, and I'm going to be using that on this page over here. So I've got that. And those. And I am going to be pulling out... Nope. Where did it go? Here it is. These. The pockets from the kit. And then the journal page that I shrank down. Those are going to go over here. Now, my question is... I don't know why my throat is just... sorry, guys. Do I want to outline these in gold? Sorry, I had to take a sip of coffee. Because on my waterfall flaps, I have the gold. I took my pen and I edged the outline in gold. Do I want to do that with these? Or would that be too much? Let me have a think on this, guys, and I'll get back to you. Okay, guys, I'm back. And sorry if you hear sorry if you hear a TV and a dog in the background. My husband has just gotten back from work and he's got his service dog with him. So, and she's being extra local this morning for some reason. So, but it's all good though. So, I made the decision and I did decide to go in and edge out the pockets and this little piece right here with my Uniball Signa Broad gold pen. So I got this in a 3-pack from Walmart. It came with a gold, a silver, and a white one. I'm almost out of the gold because of, you know, me using it so much in this project. So I may need to pick me up another one of those. But so I've got all 3 of those done, and I think it will look great when combined with the gold with these. So, but I went on ahead and I also marked on here where I want this to go. So the way I'm going to do this side is I'm going to I put a little line right up here where I want the top left corner to go. I'm going to put that right there, like so. That's going to go across the top. And then these, I'm going to set this one up here. And kind of put this one down here a little offset because I'm going to attach the pocket, but in a creative way along here, just down this side right here. So You go ahead and move and set those aside, and let's get this down first. But I'm excited to do this because I figured it's a little something different. I know, you know, typically during this, you know, collaboration, you're going to see a lot of junk journals being made and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. That's how I got started in, you know, this community, was through making junk journals. But I wanted to do something a little different. Ooh. Okay. I am really glad that this is repositionable sticker paper, because that one didn't go down correctly the first time. There we go. And I love this Uniball because it doesn't smear or bleed off. Now watch that I said that. It's going to start doing it as I'm trying to put this down. But like, you can rub over it and it doesn't transfer to the paper around it. That's what I love about that. But that's going to go there. And I just took on this one instead of running it through my Silhouette program. I just hand fussy cut this one, because by the time I got everything done for this, my Silhouette program, well, it's not really this, I don't know if you would call it a Silhouette, well, I guess you could. I gotta turn this upside down so that I can see how to place this a little bit better. Well, I guess you could call it the Silhouette program, but something was acting screwy. I think I'm gonna pull in my tweezers for this one. And the registration marks weren't wanting to register correctly. And I was having so much issues. And to be honest with you, I was like, I'm done. So this, let me flip it like this, non-sticky side down, yeah, so that I can get it, you know, round about where it needs to be in between the dots. But yeah, I was done. I was so aggravated because, like, I created some large boxes for this. I'm not pressing it down completely. I just want to make sure I have it in the right location. But I created like some larger boxes for this, and for some reason it just, the registration marks were not wanting to cut correctly. I'll show you what I mean. If anybody can tell me who actually owns a Silhouette or a Cricut, why it would do this, let me know. I adjusted the lighting. I put a light directly over the top of it, to the side. I would have the sensor had full light, and it only did it on this design. None of the other ones it did it on. And I even went in, removed the registration marks, re-added them, adjusted the trace lines, even deleted the whole design and started all over from scratch. I did this 5 times, guys. And no matter what I did, this page kept doing this. You got the printed vine, and then for some reason, I'll pull these up to show you. Let me start down here. You've got that one that cut like that, and it did like that all the way to like that. You see what I'm saying? And it's like that from top all the way down here to the bottom. And I can't, it's like it's all at an angle. Everyone is cut like at an angle, and I don't know why. And like I said, I deleted the design, and I've deleted it, and I even redesigned it. But it only did it on this page. None of the other pages. So I don't know why. It was very, like I said, by the end, I was so aggravated and frustrated with it. I'm just like, no. I'm done. So now, the pockets are going to go over here. Like this. Now, how high this pocket will go will determine where the In July 2025 sits. So let's just pull this in for reference. We're going to set that right there, and I want it to come up to there. And I don't want to cover up the end, so this one may have to come down a little bit, which is fine by me. Like that. So yeah, so that's how it's going to sit. And I don't mind that the dot grid is showing and all that. I mean, I can come in here and I can write a little something about, you know, the collaboration or something like that. Yeah, but it's kind of a bummer because I did want to use those bigger boxes, but I can't because I can't get the design correct on them. So, I don't know. I've got plenty of boxes, I guess. I just thought it would get a little bit more variety if I added, I'm going to come at it with this way with my tweezers. If I added just a little bit more, you know, like variety in the sizes. Now, I want to line this up with where that's sitting at, which is about here. So, there we go. Like that. I like that. Now, for to attach this pocket, I have these. This is, let me get the little red tip off of it first. Alrighty. Is this. This is a glue pen. Now, I got a pack of these. Whoops, there's a little red nib. Sorry. I got a pack of these off of Amazon. It came with a white one and then but plus a bunch of colored ones. Now, these are supposed to dry clear. The white ones dry clear. The other colored ones do not dry clear. So if you get these, just know that if you're going to be using them on a white paper or a light colored paper to glue things, use the white one. Don't use the colored one unless you are going to be using them on a darker color paper. I learned that the hard way. So now, what we are basically going to do, I've got both the pockets, and along here on the back of one of them, I kept all 3 of the tabs. I folded them down with the exception of this one, the one that's going to be running on the left side. This I'm going to use as a hinge. So instead of folding it inward like I did with these, I folded it outward. And I marked that it's going to be a hinge so that I know. And then on the front one like this, I cut off the tab on the bottom and the tab on the top and left the tab on the left, so that I can attach this to this. And the way we're going to attach it is like this. I'm gonna take my pen, my little glue pen, and just as if I were writing on it, run it along here. And slide you back and do the same with the other tabs. So, now this is like the art glitter glue. It dries. Once you attach it to your paper, you do not have a lot of time for wiggle room. So once you attach it, it's usually down. So it's just like with the art glitter glue, make that first placement precise, because you do not have the opportunity to go in and lift it back up if you need to. And there we go. And so I'm just going to press it down like so. And I like to take on my pockets, starting the center like this, and pull outward, because it creates a snugger pocket. Especially when the pocket is not glued down directly to the page on all sides. And so you have this little pocket like this. And by doing that right there, by pulling it like that, it also cuts back on that gap right there. And you're left with the hinge right here. So, again, I'm going to come in and apply the glue. I love these little glue pens. This one I'm going to add just a little extra glue onto it because it's going to be free floating on the page. And now I want to make sure that that eye does not get covered up when I attach it. There we go. And again, it's only being attached on the left side. So you want to make sure when you put it down, that's where you're applying the pressure to make sure it's on the page. And if you want to add for a little extra insurance, you can take your bone folder and come in and really get in there and press it down. And there. Now, like I said, this, I'm gonna, I don't know, I ain't figured out what I'm gonna do yet, but see how it just floats like that. And now in this pocket, all of the little info about the collaboration that I printed out. Ooh, you're too big. So I'm gonna have to go in and reprint that one. I didn't realize that it was a little too big. I thought I measured correctly. But it can all... Uh-oh. I think I may have glued my pocket. Yep, I did. Some of the glue seeped over. So we're just going to run my bone folder up and unstick that. Ooh. There we go. Just unstick that real quick. And do the same thing here along the side. There we go. Yeah, So yeah, I stuck it down. Sorry if I'm hitting the camera. Okay, what happened here? I bet it's in the one I glued the wrong side. Okay, little surgery, no big deal. When I did this, I didn't do it correctly. I glued the wrong side, so simple fix. Voila. The part that I marked as hinge and the part that I matched as attach, I should have reversed. There we go. Now, let's try that again. Better, there we go. So, but yeah, it'll sit like that, and it's okay that it covers that up a little bit, or that they'll cover it up, because I mean you've got the decoration on this, so I'm not really worried about that. Let me clean up my mess here a little bit. There we go. So I've got that page. Now, onto this page. On this page, I am going to take and put this down here, and I'm going to tear it from here all the way down to here. I'm going to end up doing that for both sides. So I will be back in just a sec, guys. Alrighty, I have both of these cut out, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put one here, running along the edge here, and then on this side I'm going to put this one, running like that. So, and again, these are stickers. I printed them on sticker paper, so it's easier for me to use sticker paper in this journal. Now, I have used in other creative journals, I have used scrapbook paper. I've used old book pages, all kinds of things, and I treated it like you would like a junk journal, so which I thought was cool. Now it did add bulk, but I'm okay with that. I mean, it's not a make or break kind of thing for me. So I'm just going to put this at the very bottom of the page. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm going to try to put this at the very bottom of the page. If I can get it to line up and not hit the camera with my head. There we go. And then, now I did not take, because this is such a big piece, I haven't taken the backing off of it yet. So now, I do not want to do it to where it's super tight that it's going to curl the page. So I'm going to hold my hand down here. And it still curled it because I got it a little too tight at the bottom. But that's fine. And have it go straight up like that. So if you ever have this happen, to fix it, just pull it, kind of like curl it down the opposite direction. And there you go. It lays flat. But so that's this side. Now I'll do the back side of this in a minute. But first, I want to take my waterfall flaps, and the way I measured this was as I laid one of them down, and I want this to come to the edge like that. So that means this edge right, this from like where this dot is just to the edge, I want to cut off because I want these little tabby things to be hanging over the edge to create like a Dutch door, per se, if you will. So now, I'm going to try to do this with my guillotine cutter, guys. I don't know. That's not going to work. So, instead, I will use my cutting mat, which, pardon how messy it looks. I've tried cleaning it, but when I've cleaned it, it has taken off the grid. That's why if you see, like right here, it has no grid space. That's because I tried cleaning it. And the grid, the pattern came right off of it. So I was like, okay, we'll not be doing that again. So we're just going to deal with a grungy looking cutting mat, which I'm okay with. So, but yeah, I line my ruler up with just this first line of dots. And then I've got my craft knife. You can use a craft knife, an X-Acto. They've even got ones that look like these glue pens, but it's a ceramic cutting tool. So, ooh. And try not to move it. So we're going to come in and just remove that piece right there. That's all you do. And it's okay if you remove the sticker paper on the bottom. It's perfectly fine. But what's not perfectly fine is if you do not get it straight. Like I did not get it straight here. Now it is straight. So, and again, this journal is, I mean, the papers, you can hear that. I mean, it's relatively thick. So, now I'm just going to stick that right there. And for this right here, because all of my pages have the rounded corners, the way to fix that we just cut the rounded corner off is, let's see, there it is. It's on my desk and not in the little caddy thing. Sorry about my squeaky chair, guys. This thing, yeah, it's almost time for me to get a new one. So, but I'm going to take my little cutter here and just come in and round my corners so that all of the page edges match. There we go. Set that off to the side. Remove this. Oops, sorry. I hit the camera on. And now I am going to start by putting, as you can see, this is going to stick right over the edge, and it'll be the same on the other side. So I'm going to take my glue pen, and on this part of the flap, apply glue. And you want to get right as close to the edge as possible without going over the edge. There you go. Now bend it down a little bit. And for me, it's easier to rotate the journal while doing this. I did not hold that down, which is my fault. So I'm going to have to maybe, I don't know, there. Now, you want to make sure that flap is folded down. And we're going to line up the edge of this with the edge, the top and the side edge of our page here, flipping over and making sure that it doesn't go over the top edge. Now see, on this one I guess I didn't really have to round this top corner because these are going to sit over the edge of that top corner. And then I'm going to come back in with my bone folder and press that down to get it to attach. Now, I took some of this paper and cut it into strips right through here to cover up this, and I edged it with the gold so that it looks really pretty when you flip them up. And now for the second one, see, you got that pretty gold in the edging. Make sure you fold the tab down before you apply your glue. And again, making sure you get all the way up to the edge with this, because you want it to create a good seal. And all you're going to do is you're going to butt up that top edge. See how I butt the top edge of this up to the bottom edge of that flap? Now you want to make sure that you're not going over the edge of the page either. There you go. And press it down. Lift it up. And really push that down so that you get a good adhesion. Like so. So you see how pretty that is? When you flip it up, you see how pretty that is? So I don't want, because this video is already at 52 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and finish this front, and I'm going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the front, on the back, and when I get done, I will be right back. Alright guys, there's the front. And then there's the back, and yeah, when you flip it up, that's the way it looks. Which I love how that looks. Now granted, most of this is covered up, but it takes away some of that extra white space. That right there, I don't mind. I can come in and put like maybe a photo or something just to cover up this right here. But you've got that. It is so pretty. So I'm going to flip back over, and now for this front one right here, we have this that goes right here. And then I made these tabs. Now with this die cut set, it comes with this, so this is what creates the flap that comes over and it holds everything down. But because I created so many waterfall flaps, this piece only came to here. So I had to create one on my own. And then this piece right here was from this one right here. So... and then with this one, all I did is I used the same white paper, edged it in the gold, and then used my little corner punch. I have a ticket corner punch, and just ticketed those out. And then I cut this from the little one with the, like, this one. Sorry about that. This one. And it goes like this. And then this will go like that. And then I my magnets are not here yet. I am waiting for them, but when they get here, what I will do is on the back of this little white piece, I will attach a magnet, and then the magnet will also be stuck down under this piece. So this piece right here, I won't be able to put on just yet on either side, but I just wanted to give y'all an idea of what it would look like once everything was put on it. That's what it's going to look like. But like I said, I can't put these two pieces on just yet until I get the magnets. In the next video, I will show y'all what it looks like with the magnets. So I'm just going to set both of those aside, and I've got one for this side and then another one for this side. So that is done. So we're going to come over on this side. Now on this side right here, I wanted to do like I did on, let me flip back over to this front side here. Nope. Here we go. Like I did on this one. See how I've got the boxes with the decoration, and in this one, I do like this. I come in each day and I write just a date and just a little something. I journal here and there. And I wanted to do the same thing on this page. So I'm going to pull in my boxes. And I'm also going to take these. What I wanted to do is I was thinking about taking, and like you see with the decorations on that one, just like putting these down just here and there. With maybe like this, maybe with the box, and I can still come in and I can journal around them on this right here. So I'm gonna so I think that's the way I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna actually leave these just scattered about. Like so. Space them a little bit more evenly out. Like that. Maybe switch these two. There we go. And I'm going to come in with my glue pen. And these are just on cardstock. And now with the glue pen, I'm not going all the way to the edge. Like I switched up to like the orange glue pen. I'm not going all the way to the edge of it. But just set it down like that. Because just in case I want to put the sticker under it, I still have a little bit of room to do that. Do the same thing here. Not going completely to the edge of it. I love this kit, guys. Absolutely love it. And I mean, it's so, this is like her mega kit, I think is what she called it. And it's so, you can do so much with it. I mean, because there's a lot of stuff in it. That's why I chose this one. The steampunk one was pretty cool too, but it didn't have enough elements and stuff like that for me to want to use that one, so that's why I didn't. But I may actually go back in and do just on my own. I mean, I've got both of them downloaded, but I may actually go in and create, I was thinking about maybe like a mini journal or like a tag journal is what I was thinking maybe. I don't know though. I haven't decided yet. So there's that. Just like that, just scattered about. And I will come back in with my stickers here. And on this one, I just want to, you know, just slide it up under just a little bit. And like that. And I can come back in like right along here and reattach and just attach that down on top of the sticker. And then some of them I'm actually going to put maybe over, like the sticker over it just a little bit. So say with this one, I'm going to get my little tweezers though, so I can see a little bit better. Like maybe come over it like that. And there. And on this one, let's do the red. And again, maybe slide it up under, but on the side. Like so. And come in with a glue pen right here. And glue that down on top of the sticker. And there. And the last one, I'm going to put a green one on. And I'm going to put it on top like that. There we go, guys. I think this is done for now, and I'm loving how this turned out. So we've got this with a little flippy, and I'm going to resize this to fit in here. And then we've got our little water tab flip, but it's also, if you look from it from the side, it's the Dutch door. And I love how the little tabs hang off the edge. You've got this one on the back. And then you've got here where I can write little memories from the collab on. I've got all this journal space here. I can write something here, here, everywhere, all over this page like you saw on the one for June. So, and I will come back when my magnets get here. I will attach all of these to the front of these. And I'll show y'all how that looks as well in the next video. So, but there she is, guys. Now, this is going to bulk up. I'm not going to lie. This waterfall thing here is, if you can see, it is going to bulk up this. But I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't mind that it's going to add bulk to this. I knew that going into me making it for this, but I couldn't resist, guys. The rest of it's pretty much going to be like, and all the rest of it for this, like for all of these, all of this is pretty much going to be stickers. Now we will have the die cuts and all that in with it as well, but I'm okay with the bulk because it's gorgeous. And then once we add the little flat closure, it's going to be, it'll keep it a little bit more compact versus what it is now. So, but I'm okay with the bulk. I love the pretties. I will sacrifice bulk for all the pretties. So, but I want to thank y'all for watching my video. And I hope y'all get some inspiration from this, because like I said, had no clue what creative journaling was until I came across Amy Plans things, and I've been hooked ever since. So, but that's it, guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed day, and we will talk to you in the next one. Bye, friends.